Today I spoke to Juliette Touma, who's the Director of Communications for UNRWA, the UN agency for Palestinian refugees, which has been stopped from delivering aid in Gaza by Israel. And I began by asking her what we have learned from the killing of so many people trying to get food.
What happened yesterday was tragic. In fact, it's a heinous crime. And where we need to go back to is to allow organizations like UNRWA to do what it does best. That is mass deliveries of humanitarian supplies, opening the borders so that there's basic supplies going into Gaza.
Why do you think it's impossible for this new American-Israeli-backed organization to deliver the aid?
People have to walk for miles on end, starving people, hungry people, and only those who are able to actually make that horrific journey. So that excludes a lot of people in the community. Women, for example, injured people, children. There is a system. The system works. We've tried it out. Despite all these claims against the system that are absolutely unfounded, let's go back to that system. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. We've said it so many times. Open the gates, lift the siege, bring the supplies to the people of Gaza. Let UNRWA and the rest of the UN do it.
The American ambassador here in Israel is claiming that the allegations of shootings are untrue and that this Gaza humanitarian organization has delivered millions of meals to Gazans. I mean, we can't get in to check what the truth is. What are your people on the ground saying?
You guys should be there. Exactly where whatever happened yesterday happened, to find out how come 30 people were killed while they were just trying to get very little aid because they're starving. How come? This is your job. You got to go in and find out. And the Israeli government must let you in to report independently. It's been 20 months.
We also saw a UN warehouse being, overtaken really by desperate people in the last few days. And some observers have said, well, why was there a warehouse full of food not being distributed? Are there any more like that in Gaza right now?
We said it so many times. The people of Gaza are starving. There's no question about that. We have to go back to the levels of the ceasefire. That's the very minimum. I'm speaking about 500, 600 trucks of supplies. Doesn't only include food, because the people of Gaza need more than food. They also need medical supplies, including medicine. They need hygiene supplies. They need fuel for the hospitals. It's a whole package, if you wish, of basic supplies that any human being anywhere in the world needs. It's beyond food. This is where we need to go back to. There needs to be a ceasefire. There needs to be a release of all the hostages in Gaza so they reunite with their families. It's time to go back to that.
And how much aid does the UN have waiting to go into Gaza right now?
At UNRWA, we have about 3,000 trucks in different parts of the region, including here in Jordan. They're full of food that's expiring and medicines that are running off. And so we got to get those supplies to the people who need it. And the people who need it are the women, the children, older people, ordinary men in Gaza. There is a need to open the gates, and the only way to do that is through political will. It happened in January for about 6 weeks. I don't see any reason why we can't go back to that. Otherwise, we are going to inch very, very close towards famine, and I don't think anyone in the world can afford that.